When Trump was elected, their efforts on the campaign road were rewarded. Jed was appointed as a senior advisor, while Ivanka eventually accepted an advising position, as well defined accusation of nepotism, to secure her own office in the West Wing. Jed and Ivanka were warned not to accept official positions in the White House. According to Michael Wolff's explosive new book, Fire and Fury, which charts the first 100 days of a Trump presidency. This warning came from friends and family, including Joshua Kushner, an investor and Carly Close's boyfriend. However, the book claimed that the two realized they would have to go all in if they were to have any impact on their impetuous father and father-in-law. However, people who talk with Wolff claim that the two also have long-term goals that go beyond Trump Sr. According to Wolff, the two had an honest agreement that if the chance ever presented itself, she would be the one to run for president. Ivanka suggested that Ivanka Trump, rather than Hillary Clinton, would be the first female president. Jed stated, "We approach like you have a short period of time to generate as much influence as you can in the area that you really care about, whether it's working on the peace process or the US-Mexico relationship. We feel really honored to be able to do the tremendous work that is needed and is possible." Kushner, like Trump, spent the majority of his life as a Democrat and had no prior experience with political campaigns before his father-in-law's for office, but Kushner is credited with leading Trump's digital media strategy while on the campaign trail. When he got involved in 2015, when Trump was still viewed as a joke candidate, Ivanka's father decided to run for president, and then we gradually became more and more involved in the campaign and saw more of the country, saw a lot of the problems and the change that he was fighting for, Kushner said in an interview at the 7th Forum late last year. "We did not plan our lives to go into politics," he added. Ivanka embraced the spotlight on the campaign trail with the polish and grace of an experienced political strategist, doing more interviews than any of the other Trump ladies, including her stepmother Melania. While Jed, who prefers to work in the background, she used an appeal to millennial voters to introduce Trump on stage at the Republican National Convention. She stated, "Like many of my fellow millennials, I don't categorically consider myself Republican or Democrat. Beyond party allegiance, I base my vote on what I think is my right for my family, my nation and myself. Sometimes the decision is difficult. This time, however, is different. I'm here to tell you that now is the time to restore greatness to America as the proud daughter of your nominee, Donald Trump." Ivanka Trump is the second child of Donald Trump and his first wife, Czech model Ivana Trump. Already in childhood, the girl dreamed that her father would take her into his business and dreamed of skyscrapers. Since the age of 26, she has been a vice president at Trump's company. She is described as a perfectionist, a talented entrepreneur, and a tough leader. She works 13 hours a day with 1 day off per week. She was a model but became disillusioned with the modeling business. Ivanka's height is 180 centimeters. This allowed the girl to follow in the footsteps of her mother and try herself on the podium. From the age of 16, she participated in fashion shows, stayed for magazines. But she soon left the modeling business for the construction business, saying that models are the meanest and most vicious girls in the world. Ivanka's biggest fan of beauty is her dad. No one of the shows he shocked the audience by saying that if she were not his daughter, she would become his girlfriend. In 2007, Ivanka took up a business that any girl would envy. She founded a jewelry manufacturing company. Ivanka lives with her husband and 3 children in a prestigious area of Manhattan, in a 10-room apartment worth $16 million. The housing area is 390 square meters. Ivanka Trump's wedding to Jed Kushner is one of the most luxurious in history. The event was held at the New Jersey National Golf Club. About 500 people were invited to the ceremony. All guests were presented with gifts totaling $9,000. Kim Kardashian met Ivanka Trump at the Beverly Hills Hotel in Los Angeles. Page 6 writes about it. The Kardashians, reality star and the daughter of the 45th President of the United States, Donald Trump, dined and socialized for 3 hours at the five-star hotel. Trump wore a beige trench coat and black heels, while Kardashian opted for a black dress, leather jacket and heeled boots. The women have been in contact for many years. They crossed paths both at social events such as the Met Gala and participated in campaigns to solve US political problems. Kim Kardashian met Ivanka Trump when her ex-husband Kanye West faced criticism for his anti-Semitic remarks. He later stated that he has absolutely no regrets about his statements, but some brands have already terminated contracts with him. Kim's happiness lasted 2 years. In October 2016, Kardashian was robbed in Paris, where she went with her older sister Kourtney for Fashion Week. The attackers entered the star's hotel room, sealed her mouth and eyes with tape. Upon learning of the incident, the husband of the TV star interrupted the performance, hurried to Paris on a private plane and took his wife home to the United States. A former aide to Melania Trump accused the family of the former US president of meanness and heartlessness. Page 6 reports, Stephanie Winston Walker made the big announcement days after the wedding of the youngest daughter of former US President Tiffany Trump to Lebanese billionaire Michael Bowles. A former aide to Melania Trump spoke out after Ivanka Trump cut out her brother's wife Kimberly Guilfoyle in one of her wedding photos. This is a heartless, angry and divided family that doesn't give a damn about each other and everyone else. This is the mentality and brand of Trump, and none of them break the tradition. One for all and all for one, Walker told reporters. A little later, Ivanka Trump shared the full version of the wedding photo in her personal blog, stories to show that there are no hard feelings between her and Kimberly Guilfoyle. The wedding of 29-year-old Tiffany Trump and 25-year-old Michael Bowles took place last weekend at the estate of former US President Donald Trump in Palm Beach. Earlier it was reported that Ivanka Trump repeated the image of Grace Kelly at the wedding of her younger sister. Ivanka Trump and her family went on a trip to Egypt. Page 6 reports, former US President Donald Trump's eldest daughter traveled to Egypt with her husband Jared Kushner and watched everyone days after announcing she would not be running her father's 2024 campaign. Travel footage Ivanka shared a subscription to her personal blog. There at the pyramid, on the way of the president, 41-year-old Ivanka Trump said that she remains out of politics and will not participate in her father's campaign. I don't plan on asking questions. This time I prefer my little childhood and personal life. Apply to the people, and I will always be proud of the significant achievements of our administration, he said in a statement to Ivanka Trump. Earlier it was reported that Ivanka Trump went wake surfing in Miami. Ivanka said she wanted to focus on raising children and working in the private sector. The former first daughter and senior advisor to the Trump administration has said that while she supports her father, she will do so outside the political arena. Ivanka Trump did not attend her father's 2024 announcement, but her husband Jared Kushner did. Kushner also served in the administration as a senior advisor to the president. The daughter of former US President Donald Trump, Ivanka, and her husband entrepreneur Jared Kushner decided to abandon the lease of a luxury apartment in Florida. It is reported by the New York Post. The apartment is located in the art building on the ocean. The couple decided to leave the apartment. They should hit the market in 2023 for $18.8 million. Trump resided there while renovating her Indian Creek mansion. The 650 square meters apartment has 6 bedrooms and numerous terraces. The interior is modern in style and offers ocean views. Earlier in New York put up for sale a house that belonged to the first wife of former US President Donald Trump, Ivana. The townhouse is located in Manhattan in the Lenox Hill quarter. They asked for $26.5 million for it. Meanwhile, a house in New York that belonged to Ivana Trump, the ex-president's first wife, is up for sale. The house located in Manhattan's Lenox Hill quarter is valued at $26 million, 17 rooms including 5 bedrooms, the same number of bathrooms, a leopard print library, a living room with a fireplace, and a palace-style dining room are located on 810 square meters. The house also has a garden and courtyard. Ivanka Trump is considered the most media of all the children of the 45th President of America. During her father's reign, she served as his advisor. Western media know the incredible performance of the girl, as well as her high knowledge in the political field. In addition to bureaucratic activities, Ivanka was also able to organize her own business. Ivanka Trump, the daughter of the former president, has been invited to appear before U.S. congressional investigators concerning the violence at the U.S. Capitol on January 6. The committed investigation into the violence has advanced with the decision to ask a member of the Trump family for testimony. Lead investigator Benny Thompson claimed in a letter that Ms. Trump was present when her father allegedly forced his vice president to declare the results of the election invalid. As lawmakers gathered to officially certify President Biden's victory, a mob stormed the Capitol. Ivanka Trump, the eldest child of Donald Trump, worked with her husband Jared Kushner as one of his top advisors while he was president. According to the committee, she took part in efforts to persuade Mr. Trump to dissuade his followers from participating in the violence. The 9-page letter from Mr. Thompson, a congressman from Mississippi, to Ms. Trump states, "The committee would like to examine any other conversation you may have heard and engaged in about the president's attempt to block or impair the counting of electoral votes." He adds in the letter, which asked her to appear before the committee next month, testimony obtained by the Select Committee indicates that members of the White House staff requested your assistance to intervene on multiple occasions in an attempt to persuade President Trump to address the ongoing lawlessness and violence on Capitol Hill. A spokesperson for Ms. Trump told US media that she had only discovered that the 6th January Committee had publicly requested her appearance in a letter. Ivanka Trump spent the first day of 2023 playing paddle with friends in Miami Beach, which is an active and healthy start to the year for the former president's daughter. Exclusive images showed the 41-year-old arriving at the Millionaire Businessman Wayne Boy's home on Sunday afternoon for some friendly competition. She drove her black service car to the property alone, wearing a white tennis outfit, whizzer and sneakers. A female body who was likewise dressed in athletic clothing welcomed Ivanka upon her arrival, and a male companion later took her into the enormous property. The couple's 3 children and husband Jared Kushner were not present for the event. Ivanka, a devoted tennis player, seems to enjoy the same restaurant spot as a higher call money in her boy, who received a full tennis scholarship to the University of Miami to pursue his business degree. He presently oversees the Miami Paddle Open, a sporting occasion supported by upscale and opulent companies. But according to sources, Ivanka's connection to the chairman and CEO of Boyd firms also appear to date back to the time when her father was president and Boyd was one of the well-known individuals who gave money to Donald Trump's campaign. The businessman recently held a star-studded party at Art Basel when A-listers including Kylie Jenner, Kim Kardashian and Travis Scott were spotted. On the day that most partygoers, including attendees at her father's annual New Year's Eve gala, would generally sleep in after a night of partying, Ivanka seemed vivacious and in good spirits. In August 2018, the famous rapper Eminem suddenly announced on Twitter the release of his new album Kamikaze, 8 months after the release of the record. One of the tracks, The Ringer, immediately garnered attention as it featured Eminem, a vocal political critic of US President Donald Trump, hearing about being interrogated by the US Secret Service. But as you know, in his track the rapper was not unfounded. As reported by BuzzFeed, the musician did receive a request in 2018. Documents from the US Secret Service were received by the online portal about this. The cause for concern of the federal agency was the composition of Eminem called Framed. In it, the rapper hinted at the mother of Donald Trump's daughter Ivanka and called the president himself Donald Duck. The Secret Service called Eminem a person who demonstrates inappropriate behavior and noted that he threatens a protected person through rap songs. It is reported that during interrogation with agents of the special services began to quote Eminem's composition, he connected to them and began to rap. New York State Attorney General Letitia James has subpoenaed former US President Donald Trump's children Ivanka Trump and Donald Trump Jr. This was reported by the New York Times on Monday, January 3, citing a source. Ivanka Trump and Donald Trump Jr. have been called to testify as part of an investigation into possible fraud at the Trump Organization, owned by the former American leader. The media source claimed that Trump, who was also called in for questioning, and his children received the subpoena on December 1st. The subpoena stated that Trump is due to testify under oath on January 7, 2022. Lawyers for the former American leader responded by suing Attorney James, alleging that she violated Trump's rights. In July 2021, Trump's organization was accused of violating tax laws. Appropriate criminal charges were filed against the company and its chief financial officer, Alan Weisselberg. It is noted that the organization and its director have been involved in a criminal scheme for tax evasion for 15 years, so they are charged with fraud, conspiracy, theft of property, and forgery of documents. The Trump Organization, according to prosecutors, evaded paying taxes totaling $1.7 million. At the same time, the charges are based on tax reporting information, testimonial witnesses, as well as data from electronic media. The couple attended a party in Miami which was held on a yacht in Biscayne Bay. The staff who worked at the party noted the coldness in the relationship of the spouses. "I didn't see them talking. They stood in the same group but looked like strangers," said an eyewitness. He added, when they were working at the party, they kept their distance from each other, not too close and not too far apart. The daughter of former US President Donald Trump shared photos from their trip to France. Ivanka Trump published the corresponding pictures on her personal Instagram account. 41-year-old Ivanka Trump shared with subscribers new pictures of her 11-year-old daughter Arabella. Mother and daughter walked around Paris and took pictures at the main attractions of the French capital, the Eiffel Tower and the Louvre. Ivanka was dressed in a white sweater, leather trousers and a grey parka with a fur collar, while Arabella wore a black turtle bow for a walk. Ivanka Trump is vacationing with her daughter in Paris amid recent rumors that her marriage to Kushner is going through a rocky time. Information about the problems between Ivanka and her husband appeared in the media after the couple attended a party on a yacht in Miami. One of the employees who worked at the event told reporters that he noted the coldness in the relationship of the spouses. The social network Parler, popular with importers of former US President Donald Trump, has declassified the personal email address of former President Ivanka Trump. The social media payout team sent it out to hundreds of platform users, according to the New York Post. On October 21st, Parler PR team sent out a mail out to verified users announcing a deal to bring rapper Kanye West to the platform. But according to the publication, while sharing news about her users, Parler neglected to protect their personal information. According to the newspaper, the mailing platform forgot the BCC feature. It is reported that Ivanka Trump's mail was sent to approximately 200 users in total. In addition, addresses were found in the public domain among other Parler users from the mailing list. The social network acknowledged the mistake and apologized to users. Earlier today, we shared with you the news of West's intention to acquire Parler. Due to commotion, we have inadvertently disabled your email address in the CC file instead of the BCC field. To say we are very embarrassed is an understatement, COO George Slavin said. On October 17, Parler's parent company announced that West had decided to buy the social network. The parties have entered into an agreement in principle, according to which the final purchase agreement will be signed in the fourth quarter of 2022. Since leaving office 17 months ago, Donald Trump has been busy trying and failing to rig the 2020 election, promoting candidates who are alleged to be equally repulsive to women as he is, questioning whether Google is trying to F2K him, and considering terrifying the country for a further 4 years. He has also been quite engaged in other fields, starring in multiple investigations into him and or his firm, such as the one being conducted by Little James, the New York Attorney General, who has been looking into his family business for more than 2 years and claims to have found substantial evidence of fraud. Unfortunately, that strategy hasn't been effective lately, which is bad news for the former president and his two oldest children. According to CNN, absent a New York appeals court invitation, Trump, Ivanka Trump, and Donald Trump Jr. will all take part in sworn depositions with the New York Attorney General's office in July. To the dismay of the Trump family, no doubt, an appeals court last month upheld a lower court decision requiring them to abide by the subpoenas issued by James' office. The Trump organization is charged with inflating the value of its buildings to entice lenders and deflating the worth of assets when it came time to pay taxes in a nearly 160-page document filled by the New York Attorney General. The same day, James posted on Twitter, "We are talking legal action to force Donald Trump Jr. and Ivanka Trump to assist with our investigation into the Trump Organization financial activities." The eldest daughter of former US President Donald Trump, 41-year-old Ivanka, honored the memory of her mother Ivana with archival photographs. She published the corresponding post on her Instagram page. Ivanka has published several archival photos from the celebration of Christmas. In the published picture, she is depicted with her late mother Ivana. "These are the first holidays since the death of my mother. The truth is that at this time grief feels heavier than ever. Learning how to celebrate Christmas and New Year definitely is a challenge," Ivanka wrote. The girl expressed her support to everyone who also lost loved ones in the past year. Ivana Trump passed away in accident in July of this year. The first wife of former US President Donald Trump stumbled and fell down the stairs, which led to blunt injuries of the torso, incompatible with life. Ivana's funeral took place on July 20 in New York. To see her off on her last journey, Donald Trump came along with his current wife Melania and their son Barron. 3 children of Donald and Ivana Trump, Donald Jr., Ivanka, and Eric, were also spotted at the funeral. The daughter of the former American leader from the second wife of Marlon Maples, Tiffany, also came to say goodbye to her stepmother. The daughter of the late older brother of former US President Donald Trump, Mary Trump, said that his daughter Ivanka and son-in-law Jared Kushner had already distanced themselves from him some time ago. Now they have decided to completely cut off contact with him, since their billionaire has lost all value for them. Mary Trump clarified that the couple who served as advisors in the White House believe that Donald Trump has harmed them, at least socially. The media has already reported that Ivanka wanted to fade into the background during her father's third presidential run. She told reporters that she would like to focus on her husband and children. Mary Trump emphasized that Ivanka and Jared already realized that they would get more if they stayed away from Trump. Donald is definitely losing value in terms of the party and politics in general. And Ivanka and Jared are respectable rich people, no matter what Donald does. Therefore, they do not need it to the extent that they could, said Mary Trump. She also warned that if the Republicans abandon Trump, he would burn everything to the ground. He becomes dangerous and used to take revenge on those who offended him. Therefore, members of the same party will have to waltz around him. According to the House January 6 Select Committee report, the violence that broke out during the attack on the Capitol on January 6 left former President Donald Trump's eldest daughter disturbed, to the point that other White House personnel observed it. In the final report from the 9-member panel, Mrs. Trump admitted to investigators that she had tried to persuade her father to step in when she learned that a riotous mob of her supporters were assaulting police officers, and looting the American legislature as they interfere with the Congress' quadrennial certification of electoral college votes. She once needed to lock herself away in her husband Jared Kushner's West Wing office, who like her served as an unpaid advisor to Mr. Trump because she wanted to regroup and compose herself. According to the report, many witnesses corroborated Mrs. Trump's account of what happened, and several of them claimed that she tried to get her father to intervene and force the crowd of her fans to disperse. At last, one witness told the panel that Mrs. Trump looked to have had a difficult confrontation with her father and had left the room visibly distraught after speaking with him. While the report says she attempted to get him to elaborate on that message during the incident, she did persuade him to tweet at followers to remain peaceful. Cassidy Hutchinson, a former advisor to Mark Meadows, recalled Mr. Trump, adding that she wanted her dad to send them home to the panel. She wanted to use terms that her dad might not have agreed with at the time to persuade them to return home calmly. Mrs. Hutchinson continued. The relationship of 41-year-old Ivanka Trump with her influential father has always been especially warm. Donald was the first to see in the girl not only a serious potential, but also his possible successor. That is why Trump, by providing his daughter with a prestigious education, helped to take a confident first step in the career of the owner of her own jewelry company. Since 2009, Ivanka has been married to millionaire Jared Kushner and has 11-year-old Arabella, 9-year-old Joseph, and 6-year-old Theodore. Over the years, Jared supported his wife, shared her passion, and even served as senior advisor to Donald for 5 years. However, the current image of the father-in-law and all his relatives prompted Kushner to influence his wife. Jared recognized that Donald had become dangerous and his behavior destructive, so he pushed Ivanka to abandon her father for the sake of her own reputation and the future of the children. They still have grand ambitions and see themselves as powerful brokers. But Jared knew that if Ivanka continued to support his father, he would lose all his business connection, as source told Reddit Online. Despite the fact that Ivanka nevertheless listened to her husband, problems also arose in their relationship. Obviously, the removal from the family was not easy for the woman, which became the reason for regular conflicts with Jared. However, the man himself believed that he made the right decision, thus protecting not only his condition but also the reputation of the family. Everything is falling apart, they constantly quarrel and can hardly contain the negativity towards each other, even when they appear in public. Ivanka Trump criticized a federal study on Friday that claimed her $1 billion Farmer to Families food box program wasted public money, delivered spoiled food, and was utilized by Donald Trump for political gain in an effort to divert attention from Joe Biden's shortcomings in office. Ivanka Trump's spokesman told DailyMail.com it's terrible, but hardly shocking to see the media work side by side with congressional Democrats in desperate and blatant effort to deflect from the stunning incompetence of the present government. The Biden administration general policies weren't mentioned in detail. The food box program was terminated by President Biden in May. Democrats on the panel wrote a 46-page report for the Select Subcommittee on the coronavirus crisis that accused the program of giving windfall earnings to unqualified food distributors who wasted taxpayers' cash. The panel claimed that the food box program was also utilized by the Trump administration for political gain. In its findings, the program's vendors were found to have been required to include in all outgoing boxes a letter signed by President Trump, in which he took credit for sending out the food, despite the fact that the boxes were to be distributed through a political non-profit organization in the 6 weeks prior to the election. Additionally, Donald Trump disclosed an expansion of the food box program during a formal gathering in a crucial state that took place in conjunction with the start of the Republican Nation Convention. Ivanka Trump and Jared Kushner visited their magnificent waterfront property that is being built on Indian Creek, an exclusive island known as the Billionaire Bunker. On Saturday afternoon, they were out and about in Miami with all three of their kids. The former senior advisors to the White House bought a $24 million fixer-upper in the village last year, and while they wait for their dream house to be finished, they are currently renting an apartment. They reportedly intend to move into the expensive 8,500 square foot home after the substantial renovations are finished. Ivanka 40 and Jared 41 walked to the property from their current residence at Air Southside, a luxury building tucked between Miami Beach and Push Bell Harbor, with the help of their daughter Arabella 11, their son Joseph 9 and their youngest son Theodore 6. The kids brought their scooters and skateboards with them. The kids traveled in a convoy with their parents who assisted them along the road. When Joseph seemed to tire of using his skateboard, Jared carried it for a portion of the journey. The family was departing from their opulent three-floor condominium in one of Southside, Florida's most costly beachfront condo developments. The couple walked to Indian Creek for about 20 minutes, holding hands the entire time. Ivanka had her blonde hair tied back and was wearing a cream gold button dress with a plunging neckline. To protect her eyes from the Florida sun, she wore dark sunglasses. Jared was seen sporting a gray baseball cap, sunglasses, a blue polo shirt and big khaki slacks. While Joseph chose to use a skateboard for a portion of the journey and afterwards had his father carry the board as they traveled to their new house, Arabella and Theodore were both seen riding their scooters. Only Joseph, the oldest son of the couple, was visible donning a helmet during the journey. Ivanka Trump and Jared Kushner may have reasons more than simply wanting to spend more time with their young family for their very firm decision to withdraw from Donald Trump's 2024 political aspirations. The former president's niece, Mary Trump, seems to believe that their pair understands that supporting his presidential candidacy will only harm their aspirations to become prominent members of society. On Sunday, Mary spoke out strongly against Ivanka and Kushner's decision on MSNBC. In terms of the party and politics in general, she said Donald is clearly losing value. Ivanka and Jared are now legitimately affluent individuals independent of Donald's activities, so they are less dependent on him than they once may have been. The pair made sure to become indispensable to Donald Trump when he won the 2016 election, which damaged their reputation but also made them extremely wealthy. They've now understood, in Mary's opinion, how damaged they were by living in the White House, at least socially. They have finally understood that they gain more by moving away from Donald than they do by keeping connecting with him, according to Ivanka and Kushner. It's not just his daughter and son-in-law who have left Donald's inner circle, according to the author of Too Much and Never Enough. How My Family Created the World's Most Dangerous Man, Mary, who also said, "There's always a transsexual calculation being made and a lot of people are making the calculation that it just isn't worth it for them anymore." This doesn't bode well for his 2024 presidential campaign, which is already exhibiting signs of it might be time for Donald Trump to reevaluate his objectives for the future. Ivanka Trump and Jared Kushner were seen departing Miami on Sunday, a day after the family chose to spend time in the sun in Florida rather than travel to Arizona to see Donald Trump at his first rally of the year. Ivanka and Jared were seen getting ready to depart Miami via the signature private airport while donning dark sunglasses, a black shirt, slender dark blue trousers, and black knee-high boots. It was unclear where they were going, but Kushner's pathway suggested they may be returning to the bitter cold of New York. Ivanka 40 left the Sunshine State after being photographed on Saturday for a family stroll in the Surfside beach town with her real estate mogul husband 41, their kids and her in-laws. Her father, former President Donald Trump, was occupied with having his first rally of the year in a remote area of Florence, Arizona, where he promoted discovered or held that the January 6 realtors were FBI agents and continued to insist that the 2020 election was stolen from him. The huge lie is a bunch of nonsense. The former president arrived at the location wearing his distinctive red hat owing to the windy circumstances. That's what it is, he said. He questioned the FBI's role in the Capitol assault and expressed the rise-growing belief that realtor Ray Epps was truly an agent of the federal government. He questioned how many of those in attendance in the Capitol on January 6 were FBI agents. He said, "People want to hear this," he remarked, referring to Epps. "How about this one guy? Go in there, everybody get in there." Charles and Cyril Kushner, Jared's parents, were spotted spending time with their 3 grandchildren on Saturday, Arabella 10, Joseph 8, and Theodore 5. At Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago residence on Friday night, Tiffany Trump's wedding rehearsal party was in full swing. The former president moved through the party while wearing a blue suit and a white shirt. He greeted visitors and posed alongside his wife Melania, who was wearing a lovely yellow dress, and the bride's mother, his ex-wife Marla Maples, who was sporting a turquoise ensemble, along with Tiffany, who was wearing a stunning white pre-wedding gown. Trump was also seen grinning with Michael Bowles, 25, who was wearing a grey pinstripe suit with a pink tie. It was a somber occasion in the days preceding their wedding at the opulent estate in Palm Beach, Florida, where 250 guests are expected to witness Tiffany, 29, say "I do" to the young billionaire. The event happened at the expected hurricane heat. Nicole swiftly gave way to sunny skies, so the Trump family and the Bowles family took advantage of the weather for the rehearsal. Donald Trump and his daughter Tiffany strolled hand in hand on the grounds of his Mar-a-Lago home on Friday as they got ready for Tiffany's lavish wedding on Saturday. Exclusive Daily Mail.com photos showed the former president cradling his youngest daughter, who was wearing a white blouse and blue suit and was beaming from ear to ear. Tiffany, 29, was spotted in the morning on the estate's lush lawn, wearing a casual blue and white gingham dress, but she had changed for the afternoon event and wore a more traditional pattern. Tiffany Trump finished her first year of law school at Georgetown University on Sunday night and went out on the town with an unknown man. The day after she and her alleged ex-Democrat lover Ross Mechanic allegedly broke up, the 24-year-old first daughter posted images and videos of herself posing with the unnamed man at half-smoked restaurant in Washington, D.C. on Instagram. Tiffany and the unknown man posed for a photo while Tiffany held up a box of trumped-up cards, a party game that makes fun of Tiffany's father Donald Trump's presidential campaign. The world's biggest deck-banded card game was released in 2016, just a few months before Trump was elected president. The website describes it as a satirical card game where reality and alternate facts collide and everyone wins. As she and her male companion posed with the card game, Tiffany was all greens, and she captioned the picture "Milkshakes plus games." The second picture shows Tiffany holding up a milkshake with whipped cream and rainbow sprinkles on top. And while they were posing, she used a filter to make them bunny ears. The spring semester ended last week, so the outing might have been to commemorate her completing her first year of law school. Grammy sausages are served at the Kirker Eatery in tin lunch boxes, while menus are kept in Lisa Frank binders. Customers are given their checks in Disney VHS cases. Tiffany filmed her dining companion receiving their check, which was kept in a VHS case of the Disney classic The Fox and the Hound, demonstrating how much she clearly enjoyed the restaurant's concept. Ivanka Trump is considered quite an influential woman in American politics, and some even see her as a potential first lady of the country. However, this is not all surprising given her family ties and the fact that she works with her husband in the White House, holding the post of senior advisor to the incumbent. The ambitions of businessman Jared Kushner is no way inferior to her own. Ivanka's husband became an important figure in the election campaign of Donald Trump and has since continued to work in his father-in-law administration. The daughter of former US President Donald Trump published a family photo and congratulated the subscribers of her personal blog on Anchor. Ivanka Trump, 41, shared a new family photo with her personal blog subscribers, showing how she and her husband and children celebrated the last day of the Jewish holiday of Hanukkah. In the photo, Ivanka poses in a golden dress embroidered with a sequins, and her husband Jared Kushner in a classic black suit, white shirt and burgundy tie. "I wish everyone who celebrated the last night of Hanukkah a warm and peaceful night," Ivanka Trump captioned in the photo. Ivanka Trump has posted a photo with her husband and children amid recent rumors that her marriage to Jared Kushner is going on through rocky times. Information about the problems between Ivanka and her husband appeared in the media after the couple attended a party on a yacht in Miami, where the couple behaved coldly and distantly, and a week after that Ivanka flew to Paris on vacation without her husband. Ivanka Trump fixed her awful Instagram mistake after removing Kimberly Guilfoyle, the fiancée of her brother, from images from the weekend wedding. Ivanka Trump, 41, served as maid of honor at her half-sister Tiffany Trump, 29's wedding on Saturday. She wed Michael Bowles, a 25-year-old billionaire, whom she had met while on holiday in Mykonos in 2018. All of the women in the family were dressed in outfits of pastel hues or gold, with the exception of 53-year-old Guilfoyle, who stood out in black at the end of the line. Guilfoyle had been cut out of the images Ivanka posted on social media, which some people perceived as a slight towards Don Jr. However, Ivanka then shared the original photo of all 6 women on her Instagram story with hurt emotions, giving the impression that she was aware of her social media gaffe. Ivanka adores Kimberly and would never crop her out, according to sources close to her, and the two spent a lot of time together at their wedding and genuinely have a good relationship, according to the sources. The insider continued, the two women are quite close and Kimberly has has truly integrated herself into the Trump household. Ivanka instantly reposted the photo after realizing what had transpired. Ivanka posted the original photo on her Instagram stories 4 hours later without altering the original post or story, which she then followed up with some video of the former president teaching her how to play golf. Given Donald Trump's ongoing legal disputes and his allegations that the 2020 election will be rigged, Ivanka's light blue dress was a duplicate of the one Grace Kelly wore in the 1955 movie To Catch a Thief. This comparison drew criticism. Ivanka uploaded images from Tiffany's wedding at Mar-a-Lago, including pictures of their father Donald Trump, leading Tiffany down the aisle beneath a pastel flower arch, and the pastel-clad bridal party. One image in particular caught people's attention.